So, we're always online, but we're never connected. I wanted to talk about this topic because I was really thinking a lot how I'm hanging out with people, but I've noticed they are physically there, they're looking at me, but they're not really listening to me. They're more focused on their phones. And today we're gonna go more in depth about that. I think it's a big issue how we're all on our phones. And people aren't really realizing it's that bad. And I hope that by the end of this, some of you might see your phones a little differently. So, let me describe something to you. Try to imagine it. When I'm out with my friends for a coffee and when no one's talking, all of us are on our phones. We're completely ignoring each other, even if we don't mean to. Most of the topics we talk about aren't even about us. They're about videos and stuff we've seen online. And you know, when I look around us, way too often I see people my age who can't seem to have a real conversation with their friends without pulling up something on their phones to show them. Has this ever happened to you? Before, I didn't think much about it. I didn't even realize that it was an issue. Earlier this year, I had to take my phone to a repair shop. They told me I had to leave it there for a few days. At the beginning, non-stop, I was touching my pockets, trying to reach for my phone. And I realized something. I had a habit of holding my phone, even if it's not here. And every time when I started to reach for my phone, I had to stop and remind myself, hey, it's not here. It's getting fixed at the repair shop. And in those few days, I started noticing something. I started to notice a little pattern. I wake up, I use my phone. I'm eating, and I'm using it. I'm socializing with other people. And guess what? I'm using my phone again. It's either on my hand or I'm on it. This is really unhealthy, and I think it's hard to argue that our digital devices aren't taking over our lives. According to a 2023 study from YouGov, they said that more than half of the adults get distracted by their phones while they're eating out with friends or family. The same study also says that most people use their phones in bed before falling asleep. And after reading that, I realized, yeah, I also do that. Before bed, I'm always on my phone and I'm scrolling through TikTok, and it really feels like it's been a few minutes. Then I check the time. Every time it turns out it's been a few hours, I go to bed super late and I'm tired the next day. But I'm sure almost everyone here had that moment in their lives where you told yourself, okay, 5 more minutes, then I'm gonna start working or go to sleep. Let me guess what happened. 5 minutes passed and you're still on your phone. Nothing happened. And now you're probably thinking to yourself like, wow, this might be a problem, but you're not really going to do anything about it. You're just going to continue the loop. Look, I'm not saying using your phone is always bad. For work or research, fine. But we're not using it for that matter. I mean, I have nothing against phones or any other digital devices. Mine is right here. The problem here is that if we're going to be focused on conversations on our phones, we are going to stop practicing talking to people face to face. And I would say that being social, it's a skill. Let's say like a muscle. If you don't use it, it will get lost and it will get weak. There was also a study from National Library of Medicine, and they said that too much phone usage leads to more social anxiety and less emotional depth. I think it's pretty obvious if all of your conversations are going to be on your phone, you are going to get used to talking to someone over the phone, and you're not going to talk to someone face to face. But you never know. Sometimes it might happen that you're going to have to talk to someone face to face. You're going to get a lot of anxiety, and there's going to be less emotional depth because you're going to get used to talk to someone like you do on a phone, like you do over a text, a bit dry. So, what now? You might feel isolated or awkward, looking at your phone every time you don't know what to say, or being on your phone the entire time. Or even worse, you're going to start avoiding going to places where there's no service, because no service means no phone. Isn't it scary how much are we depending on those little digital devices? Like, sometimes it can get that bad that you can't even have a short conversation with someone without looking at your phone the entire time. But now listen to this. 100 years ago today, there were no mobile phones. I mean, there were phones. Each household had a landline phone. but they didn't have digital devices like we do in our pockets. And I think before, people were more social. They interacted with each other more, they went out more. Nowadays, people are less social. They go out less, they interact less. Why? Because they have a fear of confrontation. They prefer to talk to someone over the phone, let's say over a call or over a text. Because they're at home, they feel safe, they feel secure, and they feel more confident. They can't see if anyone is judging them. Now, humans are social creatures. For centuries, people have interacted with each other almost every single moment of the day. Socializing is what gives us the motivation and the energy to keep going in life. So, focus more on yourself and the people close to you, because in the end, the person you are and the people around you are the things that are real, things that will last. Try to set some boundaries. For example, we need to make sure that we are the ones using the technology, that the technology isn't using us. Try to have also a limit how much you're going to use your devices for fun. And there will always be problems, but the key solution here is how you will handle them. And lastly, most importantly, when you're out with people, try talking to them more. Be more present in the conversation. If you're always going to be on your phone, you might lose the relationships you have with your friends or your close ones. Because, to be honest, you're going to be isolated. The other person is also going to notice. And that's not really someone people want to be around with. So, share feelings, not memes. So, I guess what I'm trying to say here is that loneliness isn't cured by followers or likes or scrolling on your phone. It's cured by being present in someone's life. Thank you.